What's up, everybody? Dog 1985. There's levels to this. All right, so let's talk about these next generation consoles real quick. I'm gonna help you make a decision as to whether or not you should get the Xbox Series X or whether you should get the PS5. It's very simple. You ready for this? Poker dude, you ready? Don't get either. All right, so now let me explain. All right, so this is what it comes down to. All right, you're looking at value versus games. That's what this war is about, this generation. Value versus games. Okay, so hear me out. So when you're looking at Xbox and you're looking at Microsoft, what they're doing, right? With the Xbox Series X, that box by itself, right now, that box by itself means nothing. There's no games. There's no games that are going to use the full potential power of that box. You know that, and I know that. Microsoft said it. For the next year, year and a half, whatever it is, you're going to be able to play Microsoft games on PC and you're going to be able to play it on freaking last generation hardware. So, what's the point of getting an Xbox Series X, the actual box? There is no point getting one right now. All right. That being said, Microsoft does have Game Pass. Now, that is the value. Game Pass is the value. If you right now are currently sitting at home and you don't have an Xbox at all and you don't have a PC at all, then for you getting an Xbox Series X might make sense if you see the value that's in Game Pass. I have Game Pass myself and I'm going to tell you it's a huge value. I definitely recommend it. And I'm talking all this trash, but I probably am going to get an Xbox Series X when it comes out. But you probably shouldn't. All right. PS5 now. Let's switch over to PS5. Sony rides on the fact that we know that they can deliver games. That is it. The games is what drives Sony, and it should be because these are video games, so we play games. However, as of right now, I don't see anything that's coming out right away that's worth you going to get a PS5. If you already have a PS4, you have a PS4 Pro. Because those games are going to come out on the PS4 or the PS4 Pro. Sony said it. So, in conclusion, there's no real need to get an Xbox Series X and there's no real need to get a PS5. There you go. That's it. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. How are we talking about next gen console, next gen hardware, and there's literally nothing to really look forward to? What game are you excited for at launch? For PS5 or Xbox? What game are you excited for? I'm old, man, but I remember when Nintendo 64 came out and Mario 64 came out. I could only play Mario 64 on the Nintendo 64. There was nothing else I was going to be able to play that on. Excited, ecstatic about it. What games are we looking forward to? Microsoft has Game Pass, which is a great value, but you don't need an Xbox Series X if you already have an Xbox to experience Game Pass. You don't. Most of the games on Game Pass right now are Xbox One games. Actually, all of them right now are Xbox One games. So why do you need a next generation Xbox? You don't. PS5 exclusives are going to come out on the PS4. Why do you need a PS5? You don't. What games have you seen gameplay of? I literally said this in my last video. What games have you seen gameplay of that compels you to get a next generation system? Meaning you saw it running on the hardware. Sony has showed us, or or Microsoft has showed us games running on their hardware that you're like, wow, that makes me want to get it. What game? Gameplay. I'm not talking about cinematic trailers. It's crazy. It's crazy. So all this hype for all these, because they both are powerful systems, right? But they neither of them has anything to show for it. And at least not to me. At least not to me. Send me the link, show me the YouTube channel, whatever that has these gameplays that I'm talking about. That's gonna convince me as to why I should tell you to go ahead and get an Xbox Series X at launch or a PS5 at launch. I'm going to get an Xbox Series X at launch. I'm pretty confident now that I'm going to do it. The only reason I was leaning towards PS5 before was because I believed that they were actually going to push next generation games, and then they just came out with a little disappointment saying that they're not. The games are going to run on the PS5. So now I'm going to go back and go with Microsoft because I have Game Pass, so it makes sense. If I'm going to pay for a subscription already, you're going to pay for online subscription, period, next generation or whatever, I might as well pay a little bit extra and have a plethora of games and different options to play them, plus xCloud. The value in Game Pass is ridiculous. Game Pass is what sells Microsoft. Okay, that's the only thing that's going to sell the Xbox Series X. If you buy an Xbox Series X or S and you do not get Game Pass, I have no idea what you're doing. There is no point. There's no point. Literally no point. I don't see it. I don't see it. What sells Sony are games. Right now, Sony has no games. They could show all the games they want, but if they're gonna drop 3 or 4 years from now, it doesn't matter. What games do they have right now? They don't have any. Dog 1985. There's levels to this. Right now, don't get either system. We out. Peace.